Did you know that in the United States, we owe the Catholic Church a thank you for Thanksgiving? Hello, my name is Christina. Welcome if you're new here and welcome back if you've been here before. If you haven't yet, please click the subscribe button below and click the little bell in the all notifications. That way YouTube will know to send you notifications anytime I upload a new video. Also, if you could click the like button, I'd appreciate that. That lets YouTube know that it's a good video and that it should recommend this video to other people. So what does the Catholic Church have to do with Thanksgiving in the United States? Well, as history would have it, when explorers were coming to the United States, one particularly famous one, John Smith, who is later known for his association with Pocahontas, he and some of his men would capture slaves. These slaves happened to be the American Indians. Well, at one point when they were capturing these slaves, there were some Franciscan missionaries that came across these slaves, and having pity for them, they bought them from these explorers in order to free them. Well, in condition with all this, when they freed the slaves by buying them, they also catechized them. So they taught them about God and the Catholic faith and the Catholic Church. And as a result, after they were freed, they chose to be baptized. Now, in the process of this, there was one particular American Indian who came into the Catholic faith, and through all this, he ended up learning the English language, and he actually went over to England, and he worked in the shipyards in London for a while. And after some time there, approximately 5 years, he came back to the United States, back before it was the United States. And he came back and found that much of the native people there, his people, had been decimated by the European illnesses. Now, this could have made him really bitter and ticked off and just not wanting to have anything to do with the Europeans, but instead, he took pity on some pilgrims there. They were struggling. About half of them had died, didn't really make it well through the winter, and now here they were embarking on another fall. And one of the things he did that helped them survive that next winter, and the reason for Thanksgiving, is because he spoke English and he'd spent time in England, and because he'd been catechized, and he was a baptized Catholic. He took that part of his faith, didn't hold against them the fact that the European diseases were part of what was wiping out his people, and he took pity on them, and he taught them how to properly fertilize their ground, how to fish, and where the best fishing spots were, and how to grow corn. And because of this, they were able to survive and thrive even. And at times when they needed an English translator, they would call on him because he could speak both English and the native languages because he was an American Indian. Now the name of this American Indian is Tisquantum. People called him Squanto. That might be a familiar name to you because I know growing up it's a name that I'd heard. And I did some research on this topic so I could find out, well, I know that I've heard before that there were real Catholic roots to Thanksgiving. So what were they? And I came upon sources that pointed to this very story. So Squanto had been captured around 1614, and that's where it all began. Him being captured and then him being freed by the Franciscan friars. So if you think about it, in a way, the Pilgrims were profiting from, in God's providence, from him having been captured and enslaved. And then from the Franciscan friars freeing him and catechizing him, because he had learned the Christian faith, the Catholic faith, and by virtue of that, he used it to, instead of resenting these people and driving them away and blaming them, to teach them how to survive and share God's love with them. And now as a result, all these years later, we have Thanksgiving, a day each year to give thanks to God for all his blessings. And while sometimes it may seem a little bit hard to really think about what those blessings are, they're always there. There's always blessings from God. The very fact that we wake up in the morning and have breath in our lungs is a blessing from him. And so God used very interesting situations to give us a holiday to celebrate his work in our survival. and he used an American Indian through the Catholic Church to do that. So thank you for watching my channel. I hope you enjoyed this little lesson on how we have Thanksgiving in the United States. And if you haven't yet, please click subscribe. And if you like the video, please click like down below to tell YouTube that other people might also enjoy watching this video. And I will see you in my next video.